Oh, BuzzFeed, you're just so quirky with your questions. It's so much fun.
How does it feel to be the same sex as Donald Trump?
Sorry, I've never really thought about Trump. But I will return your question in kind. How does it feel to be the same species?
Why do you hate rom-coms? Or do you just feel like you need to hate them?
Rom-coms. I just don't care for romantic comedies. I personally find them to be formulaic, poorly written, uninspired. I have better things to do with my time and better things to enjoy watching. I would rather spend my time reading a book than watching a romantic comedy. At least at that point, I know I'm going to get something out of the experience.
Everybody likes The Notebook. Everybody likes Beyonce. It's just a fact.
As to Beyonce and The Notebook, sorry to burst your fact bubble. I did not enjoy The Notebook. And as to Beyonce, I'm not a fan of her music. She's a talented singer. She has some phenomenal production value put behind her, but it's not my kind of music.
Why do you make women sit around and talk about men in movies?
Did someone at BuzzFeed even proofread this script before you started firing questions at people? Because you're sending a very inconsistent message here. First you complain about people not liking romantic comedies, and now this.
Why do you automatically assume that you won't like TV or movies that star a female lead?
I never assume I will like or dislike a film or television program based on the gender of the main character or characters. I only look at its genre and ask, does it interest me? Does it feature a compelling narrative? Just to reinforce the point, here's a collection of women from movies and television in character that I've enjoyed over the years.
Are you surprised when women are funny?
Honestly, I'm surprised when I find anyone funny. I have a very dry, sardonic sense of humor.
I'm probably funnier than you.
And y'all easily just sit around and talk about boobs for hours.
Really? Hours? Hours about talking about... Oh my goodness, you are the funny one, but not for the reasons you think you are. The most time breasts can occupy a conversation intelligently is maybe 5 minutes. And that's only if you get into the conversation of breast implants or natural. Other than that, I really hate to tell you this, your breasts are not that interesting to talk about.
Why do you think that we're obsessed with you when we hook up?
We are individuals. Please ask the person in question. I try to avoid making assumptions.
Why can't I sleep with as many people as I want to without being judged? When men do it, they're congratulated.
You can sleep with whomever you like. Just don't expect us to respect your choices. Again, I do not know what is informing your perception of men, but this does not happen.
Why do you consider a woman a tease if she doesn't sleep with you after 3 dates, but a slut if she sleeps with you on the first date?
Oh, BuzzFeed, you just ask the most quirky questions imaginable. Who are you talking about, BuzzFeed? It sounds like you're combining two people, or you're trying to classify all men as a hive mind of some sort. This collectivist mentality is really detrimental to having an open communication with you. Just a hint. Guys are individuals.
In what world does no mean yes?
No means no.
Why do you say that women are too emotional to be leaders?
Oh, another BuzzFeed loaded question. Here we go. I'm not sure what your premise is rooted in. Women, at least in the industry that I work in, have earned that position. There is no issue or question as to why they are there. They are more than qualified and they are more than capable. The fact that you would make an accusation that women are too emotional for the job makes me wonder if you doubt a woman's capacity to do the job.
Then justify catcalling by saying men just can't control themselves.
I've never heard anyone use the justification that men can't control themselves to justify catcalling. I've never heard an educated man try and defend catcalling.
Why do you think that just because you're nice to me, I owe you my body?
This really needs some context. My recommendation to you is communication.
Why would you ever send an unsolicited dick pic?
Okay. I will give you the dick pic thing.
Why do you feel like it's okay to harass women or make offensive comments about women, but when somebody does it to your sister, it's not okay?
Hooray! Another loaded question from BuzzFeed. Let's go. Okay, I don't have a sister, but if you're going to make offensive or harassing comments to my mom, I am going to grab a thing of popcorn and sit down and watch the show. I pity you. I truly and genuinely pity you. She's more than capable of handling your stupidity. And I am going to enjoy watching the show as this unfolds. My mom doesn't need a white knight. She doesn't need me to protect her. She's handled the situations herself. She's been an adult about it. If someone's making offensive comments around you, you should be thanking them. And you should be thanking them for one particular reason. They have identified themselves as an individual that is offensive to your sensibilities and your perspectives and your perceptions of life. You now know that you don't need to associate with them. You now know that you want to distance yourself from that person. Thank them. That said, harassment in terms of the way it's been bandied about in the last couple of years and the way it's been abused to silence critics and opposing opinions is problematic. Making harassment something that should be easy to automatically condemn into something that now needs to be examined before it can be condemned. Congratulations on that one.
How does it feel to interrupt
I got shit to do.
me when I'm in the middle of making a point during a meeting?
Why do you have to sit with your legs so wide open?
Balls. I get that you have balls, but I don't stand around with my arms wide open to make room for my boobs.
Ah, false equivalency. Welcome to the table. Been looking for you. If your boobs were between your legs, you would. Just mark it down to sexual dimorphism in biology if you cannot visualize the issue of having a sensitive organ hanging between your legs.
How does it feel to get kicked in the balls?
You want to die.
Why are women perceived as the weaker sex, even though we literally birth you? Like watermelons through like this.
It's called sexual dimorphism. Thankfully, I was a C-section.
It's so bad to show your emotions.
It means you're human.
Well, thank you for this, Captain Obvious. We would have never figured out we were human without your help. Oh my goodness, we were so lost and clueless we had no idea we were human. Oh, my mind is just blowing. Thank you. There, you want emotion? You got emotion. Happy? Simply because we don't show our emotions the way you think we should, doesn't mean we don't show and express our emotions. Get over yourself. Simply because you don't understand men and how we express our emotions is your failing, not ours. We fully understand each other. We communicate just fine with each other. We express our emotions just fine amongst our peers.
Why are you so afraid of gender equality?
Oh joy, another loaded question. I'm all for gender equality, but show me one legal protection afforded to men that is not afforded to women.
Why the isn't it ladylike to cuss?
Because regardless of your gender, using vulgarity around strangers is uncouth and unprofessional. That I need to point this out is a real issue with the question itself.
When did words get gendered?
Etymology. Go look it up.
Why is it your first instinct to doubt women who have been sexually violated or raped?
No, my first instinct is to get them to a hospital and get a rape kit for them. My second instinct is to get a hold of the police and get reports filed. My third instinct is to demand facts and evidence. There is this thing called due process, as well as innocent until proven guilty. I'd like to make sure that the person being accused is actually guilty. Unfortunately, there has been an epidemic of girls who have cried rape over the past few years, with numerous false allegations made by women that have created an environment where doubt is needed.
Why do you assume a woman's angry because she's on her period?
Oh, BuzzFeed, BuzzFeed, BuzzFeed. Giving us another question that is entirely designed as a trap. Are you sure this is a question women have for men, not people with an agenda have for men? There's no safe or sane way to answer this question. Answer number one would be women use it as an excuse for disproportionate responses. And if a man is asking, he's made an observation of a response that is disproportionate to a situation, and he's trying to avoid having his head ripped off. Believe it or not, it's actually out of a place of compassion that they're asking.
Why do you think women that wear makeup are false advertising? We can say the same thing about your dick size.
Again with the false equivalency thing. To your question of false advertising, really? Is it not? You are changing your natural beauty into an idealized actualization of self. But let's be honest, the time and effort that you put into your appearance when you go out has very little to do with men. It's all about you and showing off for other women.
Why isn't it weird that there's a bunch of old white men sitting in a room making legislation about what I can and can't do with my body?
Yes, it's strange that there's a bunch of old white dudes sitting around. Wait, we're interjecting race into this now? Oh, lovely. Let's start by climbing off of our moral high horse named feelings, going and taking a civics class, and understanding why there are a bunch of people sitting around in a room passing legislation as to what you can and cannot do with your body.
Do you have a coochie?
No, I do not. But I can buy one.
Why are straight guys so obsessed with lesbians?
Because we like the idea of a woman. The idea of two sounds great. Guys, just get over it. The idea does not match reality.
Why are you always trying to prove your masculinity to me?
Not trying to prove anything to you. Couldn't care less about your opinion of me.
Why do I deserve to be paid less than you?
If we are doing the same job, have the same level of education, the same level of experience, and maintain the same levels of productivity, then there is no reason for a pay differential. If you are saying that a cashier and a doctor should get the same pay, you have issues.
In what world does 77 cents equal a dollar?
BuzzFeed knows about Canada? Cool.
In what world does 68 cents equal a dollar?
Losing that much value this quickly? Yep, definitely talking about Canada.
How is that fair?
It's not fair, but exchange rates exist.
Are you intimidated by a woman who makes more money than you?
Intimidated. Intimidated by your success. No, sorry. Your interpretation of men is why I am gleeful. I am single. Because you are demonstrating a clear lack of understanding of men, the masculine, and what drives us to succeed.
Why are opinionated women seen as bitches?
When opinionated men are seen as bosses.
This question has nothing to do with gender at all. It is all about how an idea is presented and the context in which it is presented. Bad presentation from anyone can lead to the dismissal of the idea, or the perception that the individual delivering the idea is an asshole, or a bitch, or both.
Why aren't you speaking up when you hear your male friends behind closed doors make jokes that are offensive to women?
First of all, I'm not a woman. The definition of offense changes from individual to individual. It's a little bit hard to gauge. Second, how do you know what we do behind closed doors? Do you have a spy camera or something? In all fairness, it's really not that interesting. Just a second. Are you projecting again? Third, these jokes are rarely made. And when they are, they're made in frustration and taken as such. It's a simple moment of venting by an individual. Nothing more, nothing less. But honestly, you need to stop projecting your behavior onto men.
Why are you so afraid of recognizing your own privilege? Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just recognize it and do something about it.
Let's be honest. You don't know me. You don't know my history. You don't know my life story. You don't know what I've lived through. You're making assumptions based on your preconceptions and projecting them onto others. Please, stop this. It's toxic for everyone.
That's awesome.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You're not trying to create dialogue. You're trying to create conflict for the sake of creating conflict.
That's awesome.